Hello everyone, this is K. Lokesh from CSE-B, currently pursuing my undergraduate from Lendi Institute of Engineering and Technology. As a part of English Language Lab activity on case study, I am speaking with Mr. Sagar from Lendi Institute of Engineering and Technology, one of my senior, who got selected in G Techno as a software engineer. Hello Sagar.
Hello. First of all, thank you to invite me in this meeting. So, how are you doing now?
Yeah, good. It's an it's a good thing that you are here. So let's
Thank
start the
you.
session.
Yeah.
So let me introduce yourself. Please let you introduce yourself.
Okay. So, coming to myself, as you told that I am graduated from Lendi Institute of Engineering and Technology. So, I am 2023 pass out and recently got selected in Z Techno company. So, I am working as a software developer at Z Techno now. And coming to my studies regarding that studies, so I'm from CSE background, that is computer science engineering background, and completed my 4 years BTech in, as you mentioned, Lendi Institute of Engineering and Technology. And I have done some projects in portfolio-based projects like in web development, and I've done several projects which has led me to Smart India Hackathon. Like I have make a project regarding a vision that is for the blind people who are unable to learn new technologies and all those things. So I have created a app for them so that they can learn these new technologies with my team, and we got selected for Smart India Hackathon. And apart from that, we also got first prize in Transformers 2022, which was held in December last year. And we have also gone to the final stage in several competitions. And I have also participated in hackathons in college wise and also inter college wise. So that helped me a lot in gaining all the subject knowledge and gaining the real time projects which I have learned on my own basically.
It's good.
So during Corona days, I used to watch more of this project type videos. So that helped me a lot in gaining the skills regarding app development, or we can say web development also. So that's how I enhanced my skills and cracked the interviews regarding this app development, web development. So
It's
that's
good
it.
to hear all your achievements and skills. So having a
Yeah.
skilled person who have relieved from our college is a great boon for us also.
Thank
So
you.
what was your experience in ELCS lab and how was it helped in you while facing your interviews?
So coming to ELCS lab, it helped me a lot in the starting phase of my BTech career. That in starting phase, I used to not talk with all the people around me. I was a little bit shy to talk with others. And due to this ELCS lab, I got interaction with my uh, co-students, we can say, and that's how it started. And now I can talk with them easily and without any shyness. So that helped me a lot in facing interviews also, because interviewer also is not a day-to-day life person whom with we spend some time. So while facing an interviewer, it is very tough in the starting. But as I was practicing this interview skills, so in ELCS lab, it helped me a lot in speaking skills while talking with others, and how to interact with our colleagues and our seniors or juniors, we can say. So that's how it helped me in this ELCS lab. They trained us in communicating to others without any shyness, and to express our feelings, what we are thinking or what we want to say without any hesitation. So ELCS lab helped me in removing my fears and all those things.
It boosts your self-confidence and make yourself comfortable in front of others. It's good to hear from you.
Uh, yeah,
Could you,
thank you.
could you please tell me what are the important requirements for facing an interview?
So coming to requirements, the better way is to prepare yourself before an interview. That is, you take half day or 1 hour. Basically, 1 hour is enough for preparing for interview, because in that time you have to not say mug up, but it has to be like you are remembering the what things you have to put in the interview. Like there will
Oh,
be
like
some
a
five
warm up,
points.
like a warm up.
Yeah, key highlight 5 points. Yeah, you have to keep remembering those 5 points so that you can highlight in the interview. And the interviewer will ask on those five highlighted points only. So the interviewer will always have a look in our words, what we are talking in with him, so that on based on that points he will only question you. So the key of the interviewer is to gaining his mind into our what we can say that our control. Like if we put some words which is not
Relevant to our content.
regularly used in, yeah, regularly used in interviews, so he will more concentrate on that. And we have already practiced that points, so we can communicate with him more clearly in our words. So he will not ask apart from that points, he will ask only those points, so for which we are already prepared. So that's a small helpful tip which I can say. So it will
So we
be
should be
useful
cautious
in
on
this
our
interview.
words while we are taking an interview,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
helps us to get a better way to communicate with
yeah,
others.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
So,
thing. Good thing to hear from you. Thanks for that advice.
yeah,
So,
yeah, thank
can
you.
you please suggest any activity which you remember in your BTech days, which helps you in ELCS lab for getting a job or making your communication skills improved? Any such
So,
activity?
yeah, I can mention two things like just a minute talk and the group discussion. We can say that debate one. So while group discussion, we come across so many thoughts and opinions in group discussion. So there are more positive and negative sides of group discussions. We can say that uh, someone will say this is right and someone will mention this is wrong. So taking up all those points, we can create a new point in it, and it will be helpful for us. So that it will increase our listening skills. That how much clear we can listen to other words and understand that points. So that 2 points, like I mentioned, the two activities, just a minute talk and this group discussion are the two main activities which we have to take it personally, because it will be helpful in while the GD round is basically a part of the interview process. So if you are applying for any job role, there will be this round, GD round will be there. So it will be helpful in that round. And just a minute talk is like creating some 2 to 3 lines of points for a topic which is given to you. So it will be helpful in making creative thoughts in your mind so that you can express on spot. So that will be helpful in your interviews. Basically, well, just a minute talk is not that much helpful, but GD round will be more helpful if you focus on that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great thing. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I'd also agree with you. And jam is our first. I think it's our first
Mhm.
experiment or activity in
Yeah.
our BTech
Yeah.
career. So which
Yeah.
everyone will always remember those moments.
Yeah.
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 So as a part of it, GD plays an important role and while
Yeah.
taking up our jobs.
Mm.
So it's good thing. Those are the two major activities that everyone would
Yeah.
love to
Activities.
perform in LCS lab.
Mm.
So, what
Yeah.
was your experience in any national qualifying test? So, our lab will always encourage us to write some competitive exams like
Yeah.
Infosys, some grammatical exams like
ECS. Yeah.
ELAT.
Yeah.
So, and also some international certificates like STEP, next
Yeah.
PHEX, some. So, what was your
Yeah.
opinion about those exams? Are they really helpful to us in our career, or it's just a mandatory course, or we are having just an extra certificate on it, which differs
So
from
actually, yeah. So coming to the certifications which you have told now, it is very helpful in your career because if you are going abroad to for higher studies, it will be helpful in clearing some what we can say that formalities which have to be done in the documentation part. So it will be helpful for you if you are applying for abroad studies and all those things. And coming to the national qualifier test, national qualifier test is basically testing your skills, and it is like a key for more than 500 companies, you can say, because it will most of the companies are collaborated with each other in this national qualifier test, so they can pass this your resume between them, and they will look into your skills. That means how much you are able to, or you can say they're capable of doing that work or task. So based on your scores in that NQT, most of the companies will approach you directly without having
having a.
having connections with your college or this. So apart from that,
So we
English
can
is
say
the
it is a
main part.
global portfolio for us
Yeah,
while
yeah,
recruiting, which helps in our
yeah,
career.
yeah. It will open so many gates for most of the companies that is top level companies in India, and also in abroad. Also, it is helpful for you to write NQT exams so that you can stand out of the crowd while facing any recruitment process. So they are helpful.
So yeah, it's good to hear. So could you please share your experience while we are having an interview, like the situations that you are in being, or the questions that you have been asked? What kind of situation have you faced while your first interview or the interviews that you have gone through?
So I don't remember my starting interviews because
It's a long way
I
to go.
thought like yeah, I thought it like past is past. So I don't want to again remember those things. But after those interviews, I used to come home and always think like I will do better in the next interview like that. And during my last interview, in which I got selected, I have remembered that only. So because I have given all the
Efforts.
we can say soul and effort into that interview. So I remember that only because that's the actual job I am doing now. So I remember that. So coming to that interview, first round was the aptitude one, which most of them will be clearing that. And second round is GD round, which I've mentioned you before, that GD is very much important. So there are 10 members in that GD round, in which they will be given some points like to debate on this topic, like you can say hard work or smart work.
Yeah,
And again,
for
they will
general
choose
socio topics.
uh, they will select 5 members from smart work to talk on smart work, and some 5 members to talk on
Oh,
hard work. So
they will
again, they will
segregate the
shift.
team in between.
Again, uh, again they will shift to the people with smart work to talk for positively about hard work also. So likewise, they will test our speaking skills.
Yes.
And coming to the next round, that is interview, which is technical interview. In technical interview, my resume was based on web development, so they asked me regarding web development only. So they asked me few tags about HTML, CSS, and
Basically, a
they also
technical
asked,
knowledge.
yeah, yeah, gone through my resume, in which I mentioned that Smart India Hackathon projects and all those things. So it started with the self intro, in which I have put all those achievements and projects which I have done, and also the schoolings and all. And apart from that, they asked me some programming questions, which I have wrote on C++ language. They asked some, we can say, basic level questions only. So they actually were testing that I actually know that programming language or not. So, and they also asked me some Java based questions. And apart from that, they asked about the project which I have done. The more of the interview was gone through only the projects. So we discussed more on the projects only, which I have built for the Smart India. And after that, some few questions which I don't know, I directly told them I don't know this question. So they don't say anything if we say no to, we can skip basically. So if we don't know, we have to directly tell them. Otherwise,
How to
it will
convey
create
that
a negative. Yeah,
negative effect.
if we take time, so they will feel some negativity. So I skipped that questions, some questions, and again after that, I was called for the HR round, and in HR round also, two people were there, two HRs, and they asked me about this self intro only, self intro, and if I am trying to relocate or not, some basic documentation works. And they also asked me about the Smart India Action project only. And again, I have
Mm.
mentioned all those things
Basically,
and what
based
I
on
have done.
basically they are focusing on the hands-on things that you have done
Yeah,
rather than the theory part that
yeah,
you have learned in your college. It's good to hear that.
yeah. Actually, I've also done a website for a startup company. So that was also highlighted in the interview.
Okay.
So they were excited on me for recruiting me for their company. So that how it helps me in gaining a position with company. So I clearly mentioned all those things, and sometimes you have also try to impress them with your words, like talking good about their company and all those things. There are some little tips which I can give you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how.
Okay. So yeah, it's good. It's good that I too have some of the knowledge now to how to face an interview
Mm,
because of this
yeah.
activity, which helps me a lot. So so I hear that recently you have been told that they have checked my resume also. So could you
Mm.
please suggest any tips and tricks to write a better or a good ratio which will impress the recruiters?
So coming to resume, you have to keep it in simple and in one page only, because they don't have time to
Check the
read
second
that
page.
2 pages, 3 pages. Yeah. So try to put all those details in one page only, so that they will actually read the headings only. That what are the main projects you have done, what are the certifications you have done, and what are the achievements. They mainly focus on these 3 points, and they don't go through your qualification percentage and all this. They are just for what we can say that uh, qualification part of thing. That if you are above 70% student, you will be qualified for
Eligible for
this interview. Yeah, for test purpose. So apart from that, points are nothing in if you have skills. So focus more on your skills and showcase them in your resume. Yeah, that's what I can say. Participate more on the hackathons, because it will increase your achievements page, or we can say section in your resume. and also do as many projects as you can. And even it is a small project, you should mention in your resume so that they can focus that you
Mention
have
of
done some basic level questions also, questions in this project also. So they will think that you also know the basics without directly going into the big projects. Yeah, that will be helpful.
so
Yeah.
let's end this session with a final question. So, what were the roles of verbal test in campus interviews?
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, wait a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can speak. Your voice got stuck.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Some technical issues. Pardon me for
yeah.
it. So, what
Yeah.
were the roles of verbal tests in campus interviews?
So as I mentioned, verbal tests are most important because if you don't express your feelings or communicate with your colleagues or your seniors properly, that then no use of skills. Because the day when you communicate with your seniors and communicate your ideas for the project purpose, then only you can survive in this environment, that is commercial environment, we can say, in the corporates.
Yeah.
If you don't speak to your colleagues and all those things, then no use of your presence in the company. That why they will invest in you, because you are only coming to do your work without communicating the ideas or interacting with them in the meetings. So they will basically see what you can communicate. The even it is a small idea, you are able to communicate with others or not, or you are giving your opinions in the meetings or not. They will see those things. So that are the basic things which are carried carried out in this covered
Okay.
in this verbal activities.
So,
So they
thank
are
you.
important. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
thank you for being with us and having an
yeah. It's my
wonderful
pleasure. You
session.
called me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank you to you, and all the best for your career.
Thank you. Definitely, I will follow your tips and tricks in
Yeah,
my job sessions. Definitely.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.